Energy prices are soaring. The head of the World Bank says it's enough to trigger a global recession by itself.
The world is going through turbulent economic times. Food prices have been increasing since February 2022 after holding steady from October 2021 to January 2022, coupled with the current energy shortage. In March 2022 alone, food prices around the world rose by 12.6% compared to February, according to the Food and Agriculture Organization Food Price Index. These are the highest price levels recorded in the three-decade history of the index. A key factor in the increase of these prices is the Russia-Ukraine conflict. Ukraine is the world's leading producer and exporter of sunflower seed oil, and supply shortages have caused prices of sunflower seed oil to go up by 23% in 1 month. Also, global wheat and maize prices each increased by 20% in March alone, as both the Russian Federation and Ukraine supply around 30% of global wheat exports and around 1/5 of the world's maize, thus leading to a sharp increase in the price of grains. Notably, the rise in global food prices is driven by a sharp increase in the prices of grains and vegetable oils. Shortages of these and other commodities have destabilized global supply chains, sending food prices soaring. It is, however, important to note that while the cost of the raw material is important to the price of the final food items, it is only one of the inputs. The cost of processing, packaging, storing, and marketing makes up a larger share of food prices than the raw materials, and these have also gone up.
India bans wheat exports to control the rising prices within the country. However, the government said that it would still allow exports.
The price of wheat is expected to go up further as India, which was expected to be one of the top exporters of wheat for 2022 through 2023 and plug the shortage created by the Russia-Ukraine conflict, has banned the exports of wheat. The only exceptions being made by New Delhi are for countries that require it for their food security needs and based on the request of their government. The increase in the price of crude oil and reduced vegetable oil exports from South America have caused the prices of other oils like palm, soy, and rapeseed to surge. Nigeria is not immune from the impact of these rising food prices. Despite different policies seemingly geared towards food sufficiency, Nigeria is still predominantly an import-reliant country, with about 70% of the country's dietary products being imported. As production capabilities dwindle while the population rises and the naira weakens, the trend is likely to continue. In 2018, about 52% of the rice demand was met from imports, and a similar trend has continued. 99.7% of the country's total wheat demand is sourced from imports, and amid the Russia-Ukraine war, the supply of wheat, which is used to produce rice substitutes like noodles and pasta, has been impacted. In 2020, Nigeria imported $2.06 billion worth of wheat, about 4.9 million tons. Of this, a full $207 million, about 10.05%, was from Russia alone. In this year, the country's domestic wheat production is actually forecast to fall by 8% to 55,000 tons, meaning that the country has a huge hole to fix. It is important to note that even prior to the rise in global food prices, Nigeria has been experiencing its own food inflation. In the last 5 years, food prices in Nigeria have risen to record levels, and a food security crisis continues to loom. This has been corroborated by the Food and Agriculture Organization consistently issuing warnings about likely famines, including its most recent warning that as many as 19.4 million Nigerians will be in a food crisis by August this year. This is clearly indicated by the SBM Jollof Index, which provides a simple explanation for food inflation by using a delicacy that is common to all Nigerian households, jollof rice. The Jollof Index is compiled using the information on the most popular ingredients used to prepare jollof rice. This data is collected on a monthly basis from 13 markets across Nigeria's 6 geopolitical zones, with the exception of December, which has seasonal surges due to year-end celebrations. The cost of producing a pot of jollof rice for a family of 5, the average family size according to the National Bureau of Statistics, is calculated using the prices of these ingredients and then used as a proxy to gauge food inflation across the country. Rice, curry, thyme, seasoning, ground nut oil, turkey or chicken, beef, pepper, tomatoes, salt, and onions are the commodities that make up the Jollof Index. The latest Jollof Index, which analyzes from October 2021 to March 2022, showed that prices rose in October and November, slightly declined in January, and started rising again in February and March. The spike in October and November was attributed to the increasing demand for food items in anticipation of the holiday season in December. However, the price increases in February and March were as a result of the combination of increase in diesel prices that started in January, petrol scarcity, and heightened insecurity. Petrol prices typically have a knock-on effect on the cost of transportation and food storage, especially for products like turkey, given Nigeria's precarious power situation, which forces pretty much every business to run on expensive petrol or diesel generators. As a result, the average cost of making a pot of jollof rice for a family of 5 went up by 7.3%, from 8,007 naira 50 kobo in Q3 2021 to 8,595 naira at the end of Q1 2022. Nigeria's policy responses to rising inflation have been ineffective, plunging more people into food insecurity. The Central Bank of Nigeria continues to restrict access to forex as part of its efforts to eliminate food imports and achieve food self-sufficiency. Yet Nigeria's food import bill rose by 45% in 1 year to $2.71 billion, despite the exorbitant black market rates for forex. While these stand, insecurity, which has its impacts on food production, remains an endemic problem in the country.